Okay, guys, sorry this is a long video, but there's a lot to talk about in the format, and like I haven't really played in months. I haven't made a video update in months, so hopefully if you are watching this, it's because you really want Enchantress content and you don't mind that this is so long. Um, and yeah, so I actually quick note, I actually had sold out of my MTGO collection, and I think a lot of people were either thinking about selling out or not. I still have my physical cards, but uh, with the bannings, I just got a card hoarder account. Uh, Play a little bit and not have to invest as much in it. We'll see, how Wizards moves forward, both with bannings and with design. Whether they're going to start taking the complaints of the community seriously or not. I mean, I think the bannings are a good sign. Anyway, so we're on game 2 against Delver, right? We have a grass in play and Enchantress. We're in a good state. We have a lot of mana that we've been able to develop. It was a mistake to spread out these wild growths, or sprawling growth, because they could be playing Winter Orb. This appears to be UR Delver, right? They were playing Dragon Sprite, whatever, and like a basic island that signals UR. I can't remember. Did we say basic mountain last time? I think we did. Um, which I might have actually brought in the Knight of Autumn in that case, because like just life gain is good against them. Their Bernie hands, if you will, are the more threatening ones for us. We're gonna keep this grass around. We need to slow their roll. We unfortunately again the basic swamp kind of biting us. So I guess that's 3 times in this recording that the swamp has been an issue. That said, I mean it's the 16th land, so I'm running 15 basic forests if you count fetch lands. Uh, I think 15 is the number I go to as the default when I'm building Enchantress because wild growth effects are so important. Your turn 1 wild growth or Utopia Sprawl is like the keystone of your strategy, and you cannot afford to get wastelanded. So I always start with 15 basic forests, counting fetch lands in any list that I'm building. Okay, that's round 4. And round 5. I'm not going to go through the one where I was 3 and 2. It's fine. But I don't think there's anything particularly instructive. Two of the no, yeah, well, I guess both the ones I lost. I kind of got flooded, so there wasn't really much to take away from it. Don't get flooded, I guess. This is a good hand. It does have 6 mana, so that's potentially an issue. Like, got 1 business spell. This hand is pretty weak to Thoughtseize. There's also a question of like, what color do you name with Utopia Sprawl? I think maybe that was a mistake. I was getting a bit tired here. I probably should have. So, all right. So mana situation. Turn 2, right? If you lead on the wild growth and you realize you're playing against a deck where you cannot, that doesn't run Wasteland, you can't play the wild. You can play the wild growth on the Sanctum, but not the Utopia Sprawl. But you need the Utopia Sprawl probably for mana fixing, especially if Carpet of Flowers isn't live. So this is actually kind of a complicated decision. It really depends on what you think you're up against. Probably the most neutral play is just wild growth to get your green underway. Also, if you're playing against Chalice, then you need to open on Sprawl, probably naming it black, right, to get your Abrupt Decays online before Chalice comes down, especially since you don't have a spinner in this hand. So I mean, those are the options. But if you name black, you only have 1 green mana next turn, right? Um, so they play Prismatic Vista, which makes me think that they're not a Wasteland deck. Generally, you don't see those together. Maybe like Mono Blue Delver, but even then, they run like back to basics instead. They ponder, they don't shuffle. I don't know why this is taking so long. MTGO. Are we crashing here? MTGO quality. holiday program. So I mean that's well they've got the island, right? So what we can do is carpet, name green, sanctum into presence. Okay, it meets a force. So we don't have another enchantress. We do have a binding. We have a lot of mana. So any business spells we draw are like good to go. But we gotta draw the business spells. We don't. We draw another land. So this is another pass, and we don't have anything to bind it. So draw go. Forest Island is a little scary because next turn they could Narset, Level, whatever. Ice Fane. You know, you don't see too much Ice Fane right now. I think this is the only match I saw. Ponder is good because it means they can't Narset or Hold Breacher that turn. Or Leovold if that's what they're on. If they're on Snow, you might think that they're on Sultai over, why is this seriously not going? Over Bant, just because of Dead of Winter. Alright, there's an Enchantress, that's good. I'm definitely not going to waste the binding on this Ice Fane if they want to apply the world's slowest clock, that's fine. I'm not going to bother them about it. That means a force. Okay, that's fine. Still 2 for 1. Currently, they don't have a way to recoup that. We find out that they're on white with Teferi. Seen a fair bit of Teferi around. It's another potentially ban-worthy card. Another part of the asymmetrical design mistakes of recent years. Okay, come on. Move faster, MTGO. Oh my god. I don't know why MTGO is suddenly being so slow with the replay. Uro. Not surprising. I'll make the land drop off of it. And they attack. They can escape this Uro next turn. So that is something that is worth binding, even though it's obviously card disadvantage. You know, it's better than letting it attack. So we did keep a 6 or 5 lander hand, right? Effectively. So this is the danger of that, right? And we are running 29 mana sources, right? 20 lands plus 8 growth plus 1 carpet of flowers, right? We can flood. Which is why against like a grindy deck like this, I will shave 1 or 2 of these mana sources. Probably the basic swamp, and maybe 1 wild growth. But we're also a mana hungry deck, right? So, and the threats we have, most of them are like answer this, or we're gonna bury you in card advantage. Come on, come on. Oh my god. Okay. So we have a spinner, that's pretty good. So we can lead on spinner, and that way our binding is uncounterable. They Teferi, okay, they attack. Right, that's fine, that's fine. We'll kill this Teferi. Get a forest. They force the Destiny Spinner, right. I'm not going to Abrupt Decay the Teferi just yet, because they're very close to just bringing back Uro, which I care about more. Right now, the Teferi's, I mean, it's preventing me from casting Abrupt Decay, but they don't have, like, discards, so that's fine. Again, we're under a very, very slow clock. Let me go ahead and do the deck thinning since we already like have been thinning with binding. I draw yet another Abrupt Decay. I kill their Uro. The fact that this opponent just doesn't have a clock is super relevant. So imagine this game with Oko, right? Making 3/3s, turning these birds and snakes into 3/3s. The game would be over already, right? So that eats the Swords of Plowshares, but then they need to answer the Destiny Spinner itself. They do. They play another Uro. Now they're down 27 cards, 18 cards exiled. Including one other Uro. They don't have, a kill condition. So this Zenith, it means that they have to have another force, or we get to be in the game again suddenly. Which is what happens. We Abrupt Decay the Uro again. I don't play the Argothian. They haven't like cast a Terminus or anything like that, so they could have one. I don't want to walk into it. I'll just, and if instead they have a force for the second Argothian, like that's not the end of the world. Like we still have the other one. We're still cycling our cards, and we're still at 1,000,000 life. All right, the second one resolves, so this is very, very good for us. Very, very good. All right, and it's a presence. We are forced to cast it, even though, like I said, that's 3 Enchantresses, so that's kind of the danger zone. I really don't want to cast this force one if I can help it, although, yeah, I mean, I can't even chump block with these Argothians, right? I don't know why I'm not Wild Growth in here. Oh, I'm waiting for the carpet. Alright, so I'll avoid playing this Presence and play the Abundant Growth instead. It's a lot of lands. Alright, it's the third Decay. So the Decays were good this game, right? They, weren't good card advantage, right? They just killed Uros, but that meant that we just had time. There was time now. Alright, I'm going to cast everything that's not Enchantress. I do not want to play another Enchantress. I'm not going to expose the Destiny Spinner. I think this might be the third one. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. Actually, I think, yeah. So I'm playing around a force on my third spinner at this point. The game's over, but I need them to not have Force at Will. If they Force at Will a spinner, I have to rely on Do-Make Giant somehow getting there, which isn't very likely. So what I'm going to do is dig for a Zenith and see if they counter that. If they don't counter it, then I'll go for the spinner. The Zenith's not going to get anything. It's just going to fail. And I'll resolve the spinner and attack. And even if they have Swords of Plowshares, I'll have enough lands open to just have a lethal attack. They have trample, so the snake doesn't matter, and the birds don't matter. Okay, we bring in Uro, Leovold, Choke, and the Eye of Chaos. Take out grasses, and like a wild growth. Oh yeah, we bring in Caracas. I don't know if that was correct. Like I didn't see black. So I think that was just because I was or it was their only kill condition. So I'll just go. I think it might have even brought in. Yeah, I did bring in the second Doomway because we saw those mana creatures. Yeah, so here Leovold's a good pickup. Just play the Enchantress. It makes a force. That's fine. That's card advantage. Melee Mage seems very weak against us. We just have such threat diversity. I'm sure it's better than whatever they sided out. I'm not saying they sided wrong, but I'm just not that scared of Meddling Mage in this list. A list that has less threat density, or threat diversity, I mean. That could be more of a problem. But I got a lot of business. Look how unaffected by Meddling Mage this hand is. That said, we do need a land drop. Also, I made a mistake. I could have Invocation on the Caracas and cast Leovold. That was an error. Turned that white mana into something useful. I think I end up just like having to discard here, and I discarded the Presence. It's the weakest card. I guess I could get Surgical, but I think I like everything else in this hand better. Like especially because like they probably sideboard it to deal with Enchantresses and like all this other stuff kind of operates on different angles. Okay, I mean this game's over now. All right, yeah. All right, so that was the 5-0 run. And then 3-2 the next time I ran it. This list feels pretty good. The decays are very solid. We did at like times that it was super relevant. I think like against the Delver list, I think it did save us, even though it looked awkward against the Uro, the last match, and it was good against Rishon Port. Let's see, I guess is that it? Yeah, and Delver. Oh yeah, and the time I killed the Narset, where like they had gotten the Force of Will of the Narset, and if they just got to untap, like the game would probably be over, right? But Decay answered Narset, and I can't do anything about it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Again, sorry this is so long. But yeah, again, check out the Enchantress Discord link in the description. All right, have a good one and enjoy the new Oko free meta. I know I will.